The woman's name was Emily. She thought she had married for love and had dedicated 15 years to her family. Then, on their wedding anniversary, her husband, James, casually suggested a divorce. Emily thought he was joking, but James was adamant, even confessing that he had already fallen in love with someone else. These words struck Emily like a bolt of lightning, shattering her 15 years of dedication. She couldn't accept it. She wasn't just a full-time housewife, but a perfect daughter-in-law who had meticulously cared for her in-laws. For this family, she had given up her career and her own identity, only to be met with her husband's cold words, "I don't love you anymore." No matter how much Emily pleaded, James packed his bags and left without looking back. However, this was only the beginning of the nightmare. The next morning, a group of law enforcement officers stormed into the house, indiscriminately placing seals on all their property. It turned out that James had accumulated massive debts due to failed investments and embezzlement. Now, with his crimes exposed, all the debt fell on Emily's shoulders. Overnight, she went from a pampered wealthy wife to a penniless woman whose car was being repossessed. In the rain, she helplessly watched as her former home was emptied. All that remained, found in the car, was a baseball ticket stub with their initials printed on it. It was from James's birthday, a day he chose to watch a baseball game with clients instead of spending time with her. Now, this ticket stub became the greatest irony of her 15-year marriage. Emily thought her life had hit rock bottom, but little did she know that the man who had ruined everything for her was also being pushed into the abyss by another woman. This woman was Olivia, James's mistress, and a calculating lawyer. It was she who had gradually seduced James and encouraged him to divorce. James had deposited the $20 million he intended to give Emily as alimony into an account under Olivia's name to avoid taxes, but unexpectedly, as soon as the divorce was finalized, Olivia turned on him, claiming the money belonged to her since it was in her name. James finally woke up to the reality that he was merely a tool for Olivia's financial gain. However, Olivia's malice went far beyond that. She had secretly framed James for her own embezzlement of company funds. When the auditing department came knocking, all the evidence pointed to him. Even more devastating, Olivia reported to the company, claiming that James had sexually harassed and blackmailed her. She portrayed herself as an innocent victim, while James was left speechless, instantly transforming from a company executive into a reviled criminal. Even Emily, after hearing Olivia's fabricated and tearful accusations, was completely disillusioned with him. Betrayed by everyone, his career ruined, and burdened with the stigma of sexual assault, James was driven to the brink of despair. In his final moments, he called Emily, tearfully confessing his foolishness in being deceived by the wicked woman, and leaving his last instructions for his daughter before hanging up. Emily sensed something was wrong and frantically called back, but there was no answer. She rushed to James's office, only to find his lifeless body. Her husband's death shattered Emily's world. To support her daughter, she had to re-enter the workforce, becoming an ordinary after-school tutor. But life's hardships didn't end there. Her daughter, Lily, was bullied at school because of her father's scandal, which broke Emily's heart, yet she was powerless to do anything. Seeing her daughter studying desperately to prove herself, vowing to get into an Ivy League university, Emily's mother couldn't stand by any longer. She sold her only ring, raised some money, and enrolled Emily in a top-tier matchmaking agency called Rex. This wasn't an ordinary matchmaking agency, but a secret club exclusively serving the top 0.1% of America's wealthiest. Here, marriage wasn't about love, but a precise match based on wealth, status, and power. Its head, Ms. Carter, was an elegant yet ruthless woman who viewed marriage as a business, an investment that yielded maximum profit. She could easily arrange marriages between top conglomerates. In her world, everyone was a commodity to be bought and sold. Rex, the exclusive matchmaking agency, recently acquired a top-tier client, Ethan, a tech mogul worth billions. Ethan is the young and successful CEO of a tech company, but he's also a divorcee. He has no interest in remarrying, but his mother forced him to join Rex. Mrs. Carter, the agency's owner, considers him a top-tier client and is determined to find him the perfect wife to further his career. This news immediately caught the attention of another woman, Olivia. After draining James of his wealth, she transformed herself and became a member of Rex, her goal clear: to catch Ethan, the biggest fish of all. Meanwhile, Emily is still struggling to make ends meet. She not only faces workplace harassment from a sleazy professor but also unexpectedly reunites with her college sweetheart, Daniel, at a party. Daniel, now a respected professor, sees Emily's current predicament and offers her his business card, hoping to help. The rekindled warmth stirs Emily's heart, but the harsh realities of life leave her little time for sentimentality. For her daughter's sake, and to take revenge on fate, Emily finally uses the membership card her mother bought with her ring to enter the doors of Rex. She initially intended to cancel her membership and get her mother's hard-earned money back, but at that moment, she crosses paths with Olivia, who is also there for a consultation. Although neither recognizes the other, the wheels of fate have already begun to turn. A crystal vase, symbolizing desire and ambition, suddenly falls from a shelf, shattering between them. The broken fragments seem to foreshadow an impending storm. One driven by revenge, the other by desire, their war in this high-stakes marriage market has just begun.